Hello, welcome to FixTheChat.com, or excuse me, welcome to Ian and Kyle's stream Versus System, a wholly owned subsidiary of FixTheChat.com.
Wholly owned.
Wholly owned. We established that last week. We didn't play last week. We established that. We did establish it last week on Chris's stream. We decided that both our stream, which is kind of an unnamed stream, but we've been calling variously FixTheChat.com or Ian Kyle play Versus System incorrectly, and so forth and so on. And his stream, our sister stream, Nostalgia Time, are both co-owned or subsets of the parent company FixTheChat.com.
Because of course.
Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you can tell already, folks, but Ian is more tired tonight than he's been in a very, very long time. And I know we talk about how we're tired every night, but I am literally probably an order of magnitude more tired than I've ever been on stream, or really at any point in the last year or two. So it's going to be a rather interesting night. Hello, Casey. Thanks for joining. And I'm unfortunately going to have to defer to Kyle and hope that he'll be able to keep us going a little bit because of that. I'm super tired. Tired from working a lot. I've been working a lot. Oops, I'm going to adjust our mic, which is pointed towards Kyle. I'm going to point it a little more towards me. Yep. Because Kyle projects way better than I do. Working a lot, not getting a lot of sleep, and hopefully not getting sick, but regardless, just totally wiped.
Totally. It's that kind of a week. I'm kind of, as I was telling Ian earlier, I'm certainly not as tired as he is, but I had a crunch of like 3 weeks followed by a week of like what we'll call extra hours, which is this week, and it's just been very, very busy. And I'm in a lead role on my current project, so I mean I'm juggling a lot of things, so I don't really get to like sit down and just focus down one task. It's like here's a million little problems to solve everywhere in every aspect of the design of the game, and it's been a good time.
Good coverage, Kyle. So I neglected to last week upload stream. I neglected to upload last week's stream.
Tell us more, Ian.
That's the thing I swore I'd never do again after that big period where I didn't upload them for a while.
That's true.
I am not working at all this weekend, so maybe I'll get through both this stream and the previous stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like you have a pretty good excuse this time.
Chris went to the wrong Twitch streamer. That's interesting.
What the heck?
And he also made my name all highlight, and I'm not even sure how. And the text is funny colors today, too. Crazy things are going on.
Wait a minute. Are there... Oh, Pandax?
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. He stole my handle. I'm angry at him. Should be mine. I'm Kawaii Panda X on pretty much everything except for Skype and Twitch.
What a jerk.
I'm even on Twitter. Whatever. So, video game stuff to talk about? Anything? I did not start playing Diablo. I may have already talked about this last week. Do you remember I did?
2 weeks ago you talked about how you were disappointed.
Okay, so we did cover that material already. Should be playing, the new season starts this Thursday.
So
I should start being able to play then. Okay. I tried a bunch of things in the interim, nothing really stuck. Not anything really worth talking about.
My gaming time, and I have not had much over the last month. I'm sure Casey has noticed a distinct absence of me on Heroes of the Storm.
Well, basically, I assume that what Casey does when he's not watching a stream is he plays Heroes of the Storm and wonders where you are, Kyle.
I think that's true. I think that's very true. But now the answer to his question is at long last revealed. I've been crunching. But what I have been playing, oh God. I'm sorry.
I'm not crazy, right? That's like super whiter than it usually is, right? The text.
Yeah, for a moment I thought you were referring to me, but no, the text is pretty vibrant. Maybe
it's different, right?
Well, I mean,
am I seeing the world for the first time in my tired state?
I mean,
colors are new, even white.
Even white, even absence of color is new and revealing.
Or is it the presence of all colors, Kyle?
I guess I guess that depends on whether or
I don't
not
believe
you're
it,
talking
Casey. I
about
don't believe you play any other games.
whether or not you're talking about the additive or subtractive color systems. But more importantly, and all I've been doing with what gaming time I have had is I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, which is so big. It's such a big but amazing game, but it's so big. I was like, I'll give you sort of a very vague example here of its obscene bigness, where I spent about 40 hours, probably cumulative game time, exploring a particular chunk of the map, and then there's sort of a threshold to a new major piece of the map where you go up to the threshold and you're like, okay, I'm about to enter a new part of the world, and I got a quest from the sort of nearby town area, and the destination of that quest is as far into uncharted territory as the entire map that I've explored in my first 40 hours of play. And granted, I'm covering ground more quickly now. To the game's credit, I've learned the systems, but I mean, holy jeez, it's a big game. But I'm really enjoying it. Really top flight. So we can talk about it more when one day in a million years you get to it, which you may.
I may. I may. I will not this week because I will not likely finish before Diablo.
No, you don't start it before you got your eye on something else for sure, because it's pretty consuming.
I don't even get to play Diablo a whole lot because I will probably still be busy working. I'm getting a weekend off, but yeah, we are not done, and probably won't be.
One or two more. I would say
my guess is mid-August. So that's a month, right? So a month. But we'll see. It could be better. It could be worse. It's not going to be a lot worse.
I'm gonna hope for better. That's gonna be my vote.
I have a parfait that I haven't been eating.
We have one other thing we can talk about. We can talk a little about Ashes.
Well, that and we also got the expansion for. We'll jump into Ashes in a second.
Yeah.
We got a new expansion for Legendary, which we tried last week, and we're very much destroyed very quickly by a nasty scheme. So I would say we didn't really get a good assessment of the new version.
Yeah, we got
Legendary.
wrecked. Is the way that I would put it.
That was the thing we tried.
Wrecked.
And then, yes, I did in fact purchase. I think I mentioned to both of you. I did purchase.
You did impact.
Ashes. Rise of the Pheonixborn. And Kyle and I played last week, and quite accidentally, he picked a character, and I just grabbed a random deck. I had played the two characters I had not ever seen.
Yep. And I think it was. I
think you have a lot to say about that. I don't have much to say. Like, these guys know it. I know it. You know it.
I think if I were to sort of summarize, I did enjoy it. Let's start with that. I enjoyed the game. I thought it was fun. I agree with one of Ian's criticisms that there's a lot of. It's sort of like every rule has one or two exceptions. And there's a lot of, to use Ian's phrasing, fiddly bits.
Yep, it's very fiddly.
It's very fiddly. Now that said, played one game. You've played three total?
3 total.
So, given a few more matches, maybe it will not feel as fiddly, and I enjoyed enough of it that I would like to give it that opportunity at the very least. I generally enjoyed the experience. It just, I think, the question is, when we know what we're doing, can we get it down to an hour? Because I would play it for like an hour match. I feel like that would be a good length.
How long was it?
It is kind of a long game. Our match was over 2 hours.
Was it over 2?
Not by a lot, but a little bit over 2 hours.
And again, we're both still relatively new to it, even though you played a couple of times before. It hadn't been within a week or two, and the way you were taking it now.
When I played, in my defense, I played with the, of course, omitted Chris rules.
Yep, as is Chris.
Just to give my friend who is here a hard time.
As you must.
Which were admittedly few, and again, I think I mentioned to him, he might have explained them to me, and there were just so many rules that I did not remember them at the time we were playing.
Right. Entirely possible. That is, for sure, a risk. But yeah, I generally enjoyed the dice as a solution to removing mana, effectively, like mana cards from the deck. I liked that. I liked the pace at which you move through the decks. I generally liked that as well. It felt
Best
about
of
right.
3 in an hour? That seems so absurd to me.
in one, when you say an hour, just to be clear, Casey, you are referring to 180 minutes, correct?
Well,
so in any case,
maybe it gets rote and you recognize the end game sooner than we did.
that's true. I mean, there's two parts to it, right? Which is it's undeniably got a lot of choice, and there's a lot of information. So it's like a compounding problem. When you have a lot of choice and a lot of information, the match time will go up basically exponentially. If it were just one of those factors, you would learn that one factor, and you would like learn the strategies, or you would learn the information. That's fair, man. 3 games in an hour, though. Totally.
Here's a question I have then, for probably you, Casey. Like, we're obviously playing with the pre-constructed decks. Do your guys build decks? It seems like, to me, I could get hours and hours and hours out of this game without ever building a deck, and it doesn't even seem like there's really compelling decks to build in the starter set. Of course, the caveat being I'm making that assessment based on very little play and very little exposure to it.
And it is the starter decks, like, yeah, they do build their own. How many expansions are out for it? Do we know?
Four expansions.
And each is
And a
one
lot of
character?
promotional heroes.
Promotional heroes?
Yeah, like there are cards that are just heroes, or sometimes heroes and whatever the summoned creatures are called, and you play those with the base cards or whatever. Anyway, I don't dislike it. I'll keep playing it. My complaints are, as Kyle pointed out, I think it takes too long to play. Perhaps just with our group because we overthink things. It's a little fiddly. I would be astonished, and I might get this opportunity. I don't know if it's a card game you can explain to somebody who's never played a card game. Like it feels to me, as fiddly as it is, it feels to me like the card game for card game players, right?
Which I don't necessarily object to. At least not in principle.
We are babies at it.
We absolutely are. No
Well,
argument.
if it takes 2 hours, it's hard to get experienced at it.
That is true. But like I said, the fact is that with repeated play attempts, because those two permutations are together, we'll be progressing on 2 tracks at the same time. 2 tracks of improvement and efficiency in the game. So we might see let's say we just play a match or 2 a week. Maybe just a match at the current league. We play a match a week.
I don't even know if we get to that.
Maybe
2
not.
hours a game, or even like an hour and a half.
It's tough. It's a big block.
We would be choosing to do that instead of something, is how that would work.
That's true.
Which is maybe okay, but going in acknowledging that. Is
Yeah.
important.
I definitely see it going faster. I mean, there's no denying it can go faster than it did.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Card game for card game players. I think it's a fair assessment. But I did like it. I'm absolutely... I like it.
And here's another observation. Kyle is a lapsed Magic player. I guess if you get really technical, I've played Magic, but really I didn't. So I don't know at all Magic strategies, answers, card composition, expectations, behaviors. If any of that cross applies to this game, that might speed it up some. So I completely lack that knowledge.
I think for me it's too soon to make that evaluation.
Like if there's cards or actions that are like, oh, and this is this in Magic, or
Right.
like enough
Right.
to it that I know when to make those assessments or those decisions.
I think it's distinct enough that I'm not sure there's a ton of cross knowledge. But your familiarity with how mechanics in general interact, it's sort of like...
I mean, it's a very explodey game like Magic.
That's true. I think...
In our initial game, I ended you at half-life in a turn.
Yeah, it went from a long drawn out to kaboom.
Yeah, it was a slap fight for a very long time, and then it was just over.
Right. Well, and again, there's a lot of...
So there might be ways to
that.
get in that scenario earlier, which is what an expert would do. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm talking more than I said I would.
No, it's fine. I think Casey's more or less on the money here. I'd agree with his assessment of sort of like the more games you play, the more game theory, his terminology for it, you learn. But I think the way that I would sort of make an analogy out of that is if you step into a fighting game and it's your first gaming experience, you're going to have a rough time. If you step into this is the S deck. If you step into,
don't need to interrupt. Just want to
totally.
Oh, napkins?
No, napkins are we have napkins. If you step into a fighting game and you've never played a fighting game before, but you've played a bunch of other video games before, you're going to at least have a sense of familiarity with the controller in your hand.
Sure.
You get that relationship between what I do here with the controller and what happens up on the screen. And I think there's a similar connection of knowledge when you look at card games, the process of drawing, the understanding of knowing what's in your deck, and your ability to evaluate and process the information that's on the board will increase. I don't think I would look at at least off the cuff. Again, speaking from one whole game of Ashes play, I wouldn't say this rule in Ashes exactly translates to this rule in Magic, but the general understanding of how the interconnected pieces work.
Based on my very limited experience, I think I played a very technical character, although it could be that all of the characters are very technical, and I'm not sure that's not the case.
So I did a perusal of them, and at least at a glance, I'm inclined to think the game did err on the side of there's nobody that's so straightforward that there aren't. Well, again, it's a game with a lot of pieces on the board at any given time. Imagine if you have 6 or 7 chess pieces on the board, but each one had entirely different rules.
Right.
Kind of like chess. But now imagine that those rules are more intricate and have sub-rules and intricacies associated with a larger play format. And that's kind of what you have. I think they were going for... I still have a taco in here. Oh, dear.
Okay.
Okay.
So... Anchor guy? Yeah, we played... Ian played
Anchor
Anchor.
Anchor.
I think that might have been the guy you played as when I
Is
walked
that
in.
like the blacksmith-looking
Rock
guy?
Rhino guy?
Yeah. Him? I don't know Anchor
But yeah,
guy.
Ian played a character that I compared to a mesmer. We'll see if those guys know that term. And the character that I played was the illusionist guy who converts his illusions into reality. Both of us played strict starter decks.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I would definitely play a lot more just the starter decks before I even attempted customization.
Well, the way... here, so, what you're saying,
Yes,
Casey,
he
is
played
deceptive.
the Mill Lady.
Yeah, I did play the Lady Mill. The Lady Mill?
The Lady Mill. Her name was Mill.
Millie.
Millie. What a great character.
I had played the Iron Rhino guy before, and unfortunately, like, I would say he's probably, maybe of the starters, as you said, the simplest guy, but the mechanics of the rules are, I'm going to use the term fiddly again, fiddly enough that you still have to play him smartly.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't an easy play, and in fact, I think I lost that game. That was the game that I got really angry and then I lost. But yeah, you have to make the right decisions.
Well, the one thing that I actually liked about the experience, I mean, in case you're calling out the potential complexity of Red Moon, who I believe is a character I played as, but the thing that I liked about it is I feel like there was enough intricacy that I could actually play the same character multiple times and attempt to learn that character and get better, which is actually kind of why I brought up fighting games a minute ago, is because your deck and your strategy hinges around a character identity. I think you could pick a character and then try to master that character and their play style, which is appealing to me because I like that kind of play in fighting games.
All right, so we're probably going to jump into some versus system
I think
here.
we should play some versus system incorrectly.
Let's see, what happened 2 weeks ago? Do you even remember?
Stuff happened. Roll a die. We played some games.
I think I was very tired, and I don't recall anything about what was going on then. Unimportant, I suppose. Well, tonight we're going to find out whether or not I can recall to declare something before I roll the die to determine if I go first, and then... We're gonna find out tonight if I can play versus system by muscle memory, because I sure ain't firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, you've
Not
got
very
like
well tonight.
I would say if you're an 8-cylinder engine, you're probably on like 3 right now.
Yeah.
And usually we're on
That's
6.
generous.
Usually we're on 6.
I would say that's generous.
Yeah,
Generous. is what she
generous.
said.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll the inner die this time.
Inner die for the win.
I have lost.
What deck am I? I will go odds. So, real quick, yeah, I mean, I think it's not exactly the same, Chris. The one distinction I would provide on your boldly all caps claim, but the
That's a good cards. I think I must get rid of.
I need to keep this hand, and it's annoying to me that I need to keep this hand because it's not a good hand in some ways. But I'm going to keep it.
Thank you for explaining that to me
that
in
was
great
great.
detail. For no reason.
This hand just became absurd. I'm going to share with the camera the
You're
absurdity.
absurd. Okay, I will not look at
That's
this.
okay, dear.
screen.
You're allowed to throw water bottles loudly on the floor if you're so inclined. I'm going to share this with the camera. So my opening hand consisted of, let's see here, get to the reflection. I'm sort of looking.
I'm not looking, so you're all good.
That's probably better. So that's okay. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Why all of this? Why all of this? Just to conclude my thought, and then I'll be able to sort of focus on the game. But the distinction I would offer is with Versus System, I want to learn the mechanics of Versus better, and that's all well and good. And play mastery is a reason I play games. I like to play games to get better at games. I have a competitive nature. I also like to have fun and have an opponent who I can be competitive with, or it's not fun. But the distinction with Ashes is that Ashes, the learning is not around, at least off the cuff. This is off the cuff. But my initial feeling is, yes, I have a lot to learn about the mechanics, but I feel like I also must learn the characters, because the characters are the inherent build-around of the deck. So I feel like there's a very strong character identity, which is why I like it to a fighting game, whereas Versus System is more like, if I had to pick a video game comparison, more real-time strategy. I recruit a variety of units that all have diverse identities, and they center around themes, but not around a character that's the hub of that. So I think it's a slight distinction there, which is also partly why I like Ashes, is it doesn't feel exactly like Versus. It feels strategic, but has these strong character identities which the decks build around.
Unlike Kyle, so we will be approaching this in two ways, because Kyle is interested in fighting games and perhaps in Ashes in the character mastery, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's
I'm
funny.
going to be approaching it very generically and bouncing around. Even if Kyle plays the same deck every time we play, indefinitely, I'm not going to probably ever play the same deck back to back, because that's the way I approach this game. So we'll have sort of two perspectives on
it'll be
the
interesting.
discovery process here.
I might try to do 2 to mix it up.
You need to tell me if you're going to go evens or odds, sir.
I'm going odds, and I'm recruiting Speedball.
Okay.
Speedball is a 2/0 with Invasion. His property is, whenever Speedball becomes stunned, target character you control can't be stunned while team attacking this turn. Yeah, it's true, Casey, that we build theme decks, but there's a difference between a theme deck that's spread across multiple characters and one single build-around. Some of our decks are build-arounds, for sure.
I'm going to recruit Triad, who is not unique and is cosmic, and when she comes into play, I may discard a card. If I do, I search my deck for up to 2 cards named Triad, reveal them, and put them into my hand and shuffle my deck.
So while you are searching for your Triads, to sort of continue the analogy, I think that while we do have some build-around decks, I think there's a difference between theming and a single core identity. So you look at, use the RTS comparison. In Versus System, I personally see my decks more as Protoss, Zerg, and Terran, rather than I would see them as Raynor or Kerrigan. Whereas with Ashes, the deck would be Kerrigan's deck or Raynor's deck. And I think if we you can potentially genericize to say that Kerrigan is a theme or Raynor could be a theme, kind of. But it's like they're the center to a wheel. And the whole wheel spins around those characters. Whereas with Versus, you're building an affiliation, you're building an entire faction, and you're building that whole thing out. So again, it's a subtle distinction, but I think a distinction. I'm going to attack you for 2.
Right, I will take 2.
Specifically Triad, I would take. clear. I'll take 1. I'll also get some life dice so that I can participate in this game.
Sounds like a good plan.
49. Oop, hey. Hey. Those are cards. I see them. I see those cards. I see those cards. Yeah, it's interesting. I think
I'm going to recruit Triad. It's Triad.
That's a lot of Triad. That's a lot of Triad. That's a lot of Triad. I do not have anyone.
That's an unfortunate time to not have anyone.
That's a lot of Triad.
Triad's gonna attack Speedball.
I'm gonna power up twice.
Interesting. Oh, this could be sad. Very well.
My comedic opening hand has been revealed.
Open-handing?
Open-handing. My comedic opening hand has been revealed. You've now seen it.
You're talking worse than I am, and that shouldn't be so.
Maps Blargo. I'm going to attack another Triad.
All right.
With Speedball.
I'm going to take 2.
I'm going to take 1. Gonna do anything with Triad?
Yeah. She'll attack you for 1.
Okay.
Oh, I can't even play that yet. That's fun. Then I'll recover a Triad. And not another Triad.
That is a valid choice. That might actually be useful in this context. It's okay. Yeah, I guess it depends on what we mean by mood or not. I certainly think Versus has a few decks that are like this, but not all of the mechanics are built around the core of attacking a single character. I think that I'm going to recruit Maddie Franklin. She has evasion and pay 2 attack this turn. I may exhaust target visible character. I can only do this if Maddie Franklin herself is attacking, and only once per turn. So yeah, I think like when we look at one of the core distinctions between Versus System and Versus System, the 2-player card game, as they branded Versus System 2.0, one of the biggest distinctions was the decks had those core characters. And because those core characters are associated with the victory condition, like if you look at that character, you know, the distinction depends on the volume of properties. So like, so much of that single character choice immediately dictates certain things. You know, in Ash's case, Spellbook and something else that I'm not remembering.
I will be recruiting Superman, whose power is pay 1 endurance, and characters named Superman are not unique this turn. Also, he is cosmic, and while he is attacking from the front row, he gets +4 attack. +4 attack. Well, to be fair, Casey, those decks that you mentioned, I think, are the exception rather than the rule for the way we construct decks for the most part.
I'm going to attack Superman with Speedball.
What are you doing?
That's fine.
Stop doing things.
Get him, Speedball. And then I am going to play... I'm going to... Is there a better option? It's not a great option. I'm going to play Needle Lift. Needle Lift says, target attacker you control gets +2 attack of this attack. If they have the Spider Friends affiliation, it can't be the target of effects opponents control this attack. if it resolves.
I think that's okay. I think that's going to work. I will take 4 from that.
Yep, speedball. I am also stunned, of course. Do take 1.
I will be passing.
We'll go for the one with the counter, of course.
Okay. I will take 2 from that. No, I will take 4 from that.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on me, man. I'm out of it.
It's fine.
I'm
It's
way
fine.
out of it. Now I will play... Foiled Assassination. As an additional cost to play Foiled Assassination, return a Legionnaires character you control to its owner's hand. Recover target stunned character you control.
He should still probably not have his cosmic counter.
Yeah, okay.
Still a good
This
play.
time.
Yeah.
What a strange draw.
Yeah, I'm feeling that, actually. What? You silly, silly deck. You are being silly. What I do will depend upon what you do. That is weird. Yeah, that could be fair. And one character-specific spell. Is that right? The character-specific spell is optional. You don't actually have to put it in your deck? Maybe I am overstating it. Like I said, I played the game once. My gut feeling is that it was more of a fighting game and less of a real-time strategy game. Maybe that's not accurate. Anytime that the character... like, in Versus, there is always the you have to fight through to hit the player. But when the player is a valid target, i.e. an avatar on the board, I think that changes the nature of the game a fair amount. But maybe I am overstating the effects of that in Ashes. As I said, I'm not really in a position to debate that. That is my initial impression. But I can't debate it or even be proven wrong without having played the game more than a single time. And having witnessed half a game. It is possible that the character is not consequential. But the whole game seemed to be built around the idea of strong character identity to me, and that matters. That actually seemed like their number one gimmick, but maybe that's not. Maybe I'm mistaking it. Maybe their number one gimmick is more in their play mechanics. I don't use the word gimmick dismissively, by the way. I mean it quite respectfully, actually. The hook, maybe, is a better word. Or phrasing.
I do think you overstate the importance of the characters a little bit.
Could be. Could be. Well, it's still a card game. I mean, you still have a deck and all. So it's not like it is precisely a fighting game.
All right. Well, one of them is going to be Maggie Sawyer.
One of them is Maggie Sawyer. Okay, we've narrowed down subsequent things.
This is complicated. I'll do that, but it wouldn't be a good plan.
Hey, stay in my taco, you taco.
Is it that? That feels so wrong. I think it's Triad and a Mother Box.
Interesting.
Maggie Sawyer says defenders adjacent to Maggie Sawyer have reinforcement. She goes here.
Oh, indeed.
And Mother Box says I may pay. I may remove a cosmic counter from a character I control to gain 3 endurance, and I may pay 3 endurance to put a cosmic counter on target character with cosmic I control. That second ability I may only do once per turn. And I will be doing it. I won't be doing it.
You can save it. Right. Now I have to make a choice. And I don't love it. Do not love it. I'm going to recruit Black Cat. Whenever Black Cat becomes stunned, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And otherwise, she is a 2/3 with invasion. Invasion, evasion.
Yep.
We just
Both-
shipped a
both
feature
of
in the
those
game
things.
called Invasion, the game I work. It's a cool feature.
I think my play is to attack Speedball with Superman. And probably put a counter on him. He doesn't have evasion, right? Oh, he does have
All of
evasion.
my characters have evasion.
All of your characters have evasion. In which case, I must. That's interesting. That's interesting.
As a reminder for our viewers at home, evasion means I may stun this character at any time. If I do, recover them at the start of the recovery phase this turn.
I think I then attack Black Cat with Superman.
That's reasonable.
Oh, my dudes, so that they're all on stream.
Interesting. Very interesting. You are going to attack Black Cat with Superman.
I did.
You have attacked Black Cat with Superman. If you put a counter on him, he gets +4 attack.
Correct.
I feel like this is a piddling little fight. And I'm trying to decide what is important and what is not important. And it's not easy. It's gonna potentially hurt. I am going to play Spider Signal. Target spider friends, attacker, or defender you control gets -2/+2 or +2/-2 this attack. I will give Black Cat +2/-2. So I am now a 4/1.
Right. Okay.
You want to use Mother Box?
I pay 3, you take 4? Is that a good play?
I have a slight life advantage, but
I don't think so.
okay, that's fair.
I don't think so.
so your
I
attack-
need to make it to 8 for this to work.
That's fair. So your printed attack was
4.
4. I will take 5 because my defense was now 1 more than the cost.
Oh, maybe I could use it to pull Triad's counter.
You could.
That's interesting.
And
That's
I'm probably going to go after Triad's counter if you don't.
I should pull Triad's counter. That is for what I use the Mother Box.
Yep.
Your turn.
Sure is my turn.
Sure is your turn.
Well. Maddie is going to attack Maggie. I know you're shocked.
Maddie v. Maggie.
I'm sure you said that right, but my brain couldn't parse it. Maggie. I know what you said. Like, I know what you said, but I did not hear it.
Are you doing anything else?
Not as of yet.
No. I will exhaust Maggie Sawyer.
I don't like that.
To play Home Sweet Home. To play exhausted team Superman character control, recover target stunned character you control at the start of the recovery phase this turn.
Aw.
I will choose Superman. And then if you further do nothing else, I will take 3.
That's sad. I think there is not what I can do about it. He's to you.
I will attack Speedball with Triad.
Wait a minute. Would you mind terribly if I remembered to discard a card when Black Cat was stunned?
No, I don't at all.
Because I definitely meant to discard this. Black cat to draw a card. Okay. I'm like, something isn't right. My choices haven't changed. That said, I'm going to evade.
In which case I will pass.
As will I. Suppose I should have passed first. But yes, passes all around.
Well, I can logically conclude from your board state that you're going to pass.
Fair enough.
So the whole of my statement was, then if you pass, so will I.
Indeed.
But part of it was implied.
I accept.
Well, this is getting weird. What are you doing? Why is it weird, Kyle?
I don't know. My draw's a little peculiar, too.
Don't make it weird.
Here is my initiative. I am going to recruit Sony's attempt at an R-rated film, Venom.
That ain't gonna be no good.
It's going to be Venom and Carnage in an R-rated movie. They got Tom Hardy as Venom. That's kind of cool. I like Tom Hardy. But that does sound like it can't possibly work.
The fact that they're publicly fighting over whether or not it's in the MCU does not make me hope for it.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That is fair. Sorry, I should read what Venom does. He has evasion. He also has at the start of your attack step, you may exhaust target visible character with a cost of 4 or less.
Oof.
Which is very useful in this context.
I'm kind of having a bad draw.
Fair.
And there's no end to that sentence, even though I made it sound as though there were.
Mm-hmm. You should have.
Period.
Period.
I'm kind of having a bad draw.
Period.
So, I got options.
Mine's had its ups and downs. Hitting 5 was an up. Missing 2 and 4 wasn't an up.
Kind of seems like I should do this. This.
She does something. I hate him so much.
Vartox's power is cosmic. Remove target defender you control from this attack, and Vartox becomes a defender. Use this only once per turn. And Lana Lang's power is I may discard Team Superman card from my hand rather than pay her recruit cost. I may also exhaust a non-defending Superman character I control, and target defender I control has reinforcement this attack.
I hate Vortex so much. It's a lot. It's a lot that I hate him. How do I do anything here? So bad. Stupid Vartox.
Oh, I'm sorry. I neglected to pay a resource. Now I have played a resource. That was important to my plan.
Right.
Having enough resources to do it.
So Lana reinforces anyone.
Nope.
Say her again. Then.
Lana allows other Team Superman characters to reinforce anyone as long as they're not defending.
By exhausting.
Yes.
Maggie reinforces adjacent characters. Bartok
Yes.
says, I'm attacking me and I don't need to exhaust for it.
Yes.
And Superman's like, don't mind me unless I get a counter.
Sure.
What a generally unpleasant lot you've got over there. Man. So how do I accomplish what I want? I think, okay, at the start of my attack step, I may exhaust target visible character with cost 4 or less. That's going to be important. I should do that first. It's probably either Vartox or Superman. Those are the obvious choices, simply to remove your attack from the board. But you can still redirect. You can still redirect with Vartox, even if I exhaust him. So, what is the play? I think I remove... Vartox's power can only be used once per turn?
Yes.
Let's exhaust Superman.
Superman is exhausted.
Yeah, let's make it Vartox. I fit. We're gonna make it Vartox. That's okay. I think I got this.
Vartox is exhausted.
Now Maddie is going to attack Maggie, because that is my favorite attack.
Maggie v. Maddie.
Everyone loves Maddie v. Maggie.
Would you believe you're actually attacking Vartox?
I would believe that. I'm going to pay 2 of Maddie's attack to exhaust Superman. And then I think I'm going to get stunned, because that's cool. Unless I do that thing, would that be worth it? Would that even help? Is this an illusion?
I see. You're making me spend Vartox's power on a less interesting attack. That's clever.
I think it's...
I probably wouldn't have seen that, especially not tonight.
My secret weapon is your Sleepy. I still take 3 damage out of it, so... Nothing. And you did basically foil an attack, so now I have to make the most of my remaining plays.
Right. So I will attack Speedball with Triad.
Yep. I am going to reveal Empire State University, which is a location. It says activate, exhaust a Spider Friends character you control. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one into your hand and the other on the bottom of your deck. These are both really, really good. Not right now, but in general. This one is one of the key linchpins of the deck. This one is circumstantially really useful at the moment. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do the circumstantial one and hope it is the right play. I think it will be, but I've been proven wrong before. Then, we will both be stunned. I'll take 2 damage and you will take 1. Black Cat is going to attack Triad.
One. I'm gonna pass.
How much life do you get when you you can pull unlimited counters, but you can only place 1 a turn? Is that right?
That's correct. And there are 3 apiece. Either way. Chet got quiet. We scared him off by playing Versus System.
Yes, yes. So the question is, do I use my big attack to go after Vartox? Well, you can reinforce by exhausting Maggie, is that correct?
Yep.
Simply go for Vartox. It becomes the right choice. That is a clearer option. I am as printed.
I can reinforce by exhausting Lana as well.
All the options are yours.
I will pull his counter. I will reinforce with Lana. So at a net loss of 1.
But I hit Vartox.
But you hit Vartox. And I will be forced to lose my triads, which is sad.
Yeah, I think I have to lose Speedball, of course. So that turn went slightly in my favor, but not significantly so, which is unfortunate for my initiative. Right. You did? Yeah. Yes, it is now your initiative. Slight life advantage.
Initiative.
Slight character disadvantage. Yeah. Slight life advantage, slight character disadvantage. Don't actually know how this is going to go. Pardonnez-moi.
It's not going to go great. I'm going to recruit Kinetics, whose power is remove a cosmic counter from a character you control, exhaust target unprotected character. I may use this power only during my attack step. And I will also recruit Bouncing Boy, boosted 1. Bouncing Boy's power is whenever Bouncing Boy becomes stunned, during the combat phase, I may return him to owner's hand. And he's cosmic, and his boost is X. When Bouncing Boy comes into play, put up to X counters on target cosmic characters you control.
Yeah.
I think I screwed up reading that a little bit, but it was the gist of it.
It's okay. Certainly puts you in a good position for your initiative. I only have a 5-drop. Phil Urich, the Green Goblin. He has pay 2 attack this turn. Stun any number of target non-defending characters with a combined cost of 2 or less. Use only if he is attacking and only once per turn.
That could be very good.
I think this is how I form. Is that right? No, that's how I form. Do not foresee this turn going particularly well for me.
Well, it's not going to go particularly poorly either, I think.
And prickly enough that you only have so many free options.
Well, you also have enough. You have at least as many exhausts as I do.
Right.
Which is kind of unfortunate.
Though, you're going to get a chance to do yours first, and most of mine require while I am attacking. Venom does not. Both Maddie and Phil only do their things while attacking.
So I will attack Black Cat with Superman. That is the opening gambit, of course. I will reveal that I have Candor.
Oh my.
Non-army team Superman
God,
characters I
so
control
good.
with a cost of 3 or less. Get +3/+3.
God. Alright, now I think it's going to go badly for me. Must think very carefully. What I expect happens here, of course, is when you get your stun, you will pop all 3 of your counters. to exhaust my remaining 3 characters. You can't afford to let me attack. What's that?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Dear Advil? I think it's right over there. I think you should see it. It's on the bookshelf.
Yeah, probably. Probably. That's sad. Those are some useful counters.
It's a good use.
I don't know. 2, right?
Yeah.
Standard strength. So I have a thing I can do, and a lot hinges upon. I need to figure. So
I'm going to get some water.
yeah, you get some water while I ponder. I can do a little thinking out loud here. What is likely to follow this attack is the real sort of question. So you exhaust my team, and how do you follow it up?
Can't capitalize.
Yeah,
Best, I may make you evade with several characters this turn.
Right.
I don't think I can really punish.
Well, if I evade, you can punish to a point. I think this attack is going to be mostly successful. But what would you follow? Vartox does not get the stat bonus, so your biggest attack is kinetics and team attacks. And all of your supporting characters do have pretty useful powers. Obviously, you can't team attack with Bouncing Boy, because I would choose not to stun him, so you wouldn't get to pop his power, which would be costly. So if you attack with Bouncing Boy at all, it is either going to be an attack you feel is completely safe, of which there aren't many, or you're just not going to attack with them at all. So I'm likely to suffer 2 subsequent attacks. You will certainly team attack with your 1-drops against Venom or Urich. Yeah, it's probably what you'll do. Makes a lot of sense. Right. All right. Well, I'm going to eat it. So it's 5 damage.
You're going to eat it. It's much more than... Oh, maybe not.
That is to say, I'm not going to reinforce. Your attack is 7, so I'll take 6.
Or evade.
Yeah. I will take 6. Evading means you get him as a part of a team attack, which is also
still
bad.
pay 3 for 1. It seems like a bad investment. Yep.
And I could change my view if you made that choice as well.
Sure.
Shall I take my damage?
Yes, please. Yes. Yep.
So hold on. Sorry, this will probably not affect anything. I exhaust her to fire Empire State University. That's one thing. Look at 2. And I pick 1. I'll pick that one. This will go on the bottom of my deck. And then, when she is stunned, I may discard a card, which I will do to draw a card. I'll discard a 3 cost.
I do have to exhaust your team. That's so annoying.
It's not a bad use.
Nice to have counters.
It is nice to have counters. Yoink, yoink, and yoink. I mean, you get, it depends. It depends, yeah. That's. We'll see how costly that is or is not. So it is to me. I will use Venom's power to exhaust kinetics, perhaps unsurprisingly. And then I will pass.
I'm going to reveal that I have Smallville, an oft unplayed card in this deck. Smallville says, protected Teen Superman characters I control get +1/+1 and have range.
Yep.
I'm going to attack Maddie Franklin with Vartox.
With Vartox? Interesting. Does he not have range? He does have range. Oh, but he's got +1/+1 now. Sure. Okay. All right, I see what you did there. Yeah, that's going to work. So I will take 3 breakthrough. And 3 for the stun. I must pass.
I think that I've got a stun Bouncing Boy on someone. It doesn't matter who.
Sure.
And return him to my hand.
That is a thing. I will pass.
Likewise.
I will lose Black Cat.
you gotta be interesting.
I should draw some cards. Interesting. Interesting. Ugh. How do I deal with this peep? I'm going to recruit Daredevil. Daredevil says, pay to attack this turn. Exhaust target visible character. Use only if he is attacking.
Oh, it's so good.
Pretty good.
I don't need characters to defeat you or something.
Well, the problem is, I need you to lose all your characters because you're going to have Marvel, or at least I must assume that you're going to have Marvel. If you play Bouncing Boy, I can't stop kinetics from exhausting everyone again, and it's kind of annoying.
Well, I will recruit Apparition,
Yeah, she's interesting.
whose power is I may remove a cosmic counter from a character I control, and target character I control can attack hidden characters this turn. She's also Cosmic Surge. And then I will recruit Bouncing Boy with a boost of 3. So Bouncing Boy gets a counter, and with 3 powered characters get counters.
Yeah. Oh, so bad. So bad.
And I must protect kinetics, actually. That's a silly formation. I am underutilizing Ms. Sawyer. But I think it's correct.
Well, you sure got a lot of stuff. Phil Urich is going to attack kinetics. I'm going to pay 2 attack to stun your 2 1-drops.
Ooh.
After that has occurred, I will do something else. I'll wait until that is resolved. Oh, I apologize. I must exhaust a character of cost 4 or less. I will target Superman.
This is interesting. I think the stack interactions work in my favor here.
They may well.
I think I can still redirect to Vartox.
I believe that's correct.
And then use, for example, Lana's power to reinforce before she is stunned.
Let me contemplate. I think you're right, but let's review.
Because your effect should go on the stack, right?
Any character, yeah.
All of those are
Use
effect
only,
resolutions.
yes, he must be an attacker. So I become an attacker. I then pay my 2. Then you would pay Vartox's redirect, which is free.
Right.
And then you could reinforce. Yes, I agree with your assessment. You can do all of that.
Looks like I get the counter stun too.
That is correct right now. So
So I'm going to, these guys
Sure,
are stunned.
so
I
they are
cannot
stunned and you
further
take
stop it.
So that whole chain resolves. You are reinforced.
That was worth 2 apiece.
Yeah, that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Burns at the touch. Target attacker you control gets +2 defenseless attack. The defending player loses 2 endurance.
No.
Poke. So now I am not being stunned.
That's true. I'm going to pull Vartox's counter for 3.
Yep. It's legit. Legit plays, yo. Jet plays.
Well, my team is going to be small.
Yeah. Wish I could make it smaller.
Well, all I can do is exhaust your 2 unprotected characters.
Yeah. Sure can. Ugh. And then I assume you pass. Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, I think I gotta attack kinetics. I don't think there's any reason to attack bouncing voids. Either kinetics or Superman. Let's see, who else is stunned? Vartox and 2 1-drops. What's more valuable, Mother Box or kinetics in this instance? It's honestly, both kinetics and the Mother Box are probably more valuable than everything else you've got stunned at this point. So if I stun the Mother Box is always cost 1, or is it cheaper in certain instances?
No, it's always 1. This is back when good equipment cost stuff. For that one set.
Stuff. I'm trying to think if there's a tight spot I can put you in, but I think you're just going to lose
I'm getting a little bit of a tight spot either way.
Yeah. Can you... unprotected character is what kinetics exhaust? Is there any other constraint on these? Remove a cosmic counter, exhaust target unprotected.
Must be during my attack step.
Your attack step. Interesting. You deal more damage against one than the other. I deal 1 point more damage against Superman.
That is not true.
How sure are you that's not true?
Pretty sure.
So kinetics has naturally 1 more defense.
That's correct.
So if they're both plus the same amount...
that is not correct.
They're both 3 or less. Neither is protected. Can you move anyone that I can't see?
One of them is a Team Superman character, and one of them is not.
That is true. Candor applies to Team Superman?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This has been a trying game.
Things I had not previously noticed. I assumed I was in a worse position.
I've been playing
than I
very
was.
carefully.
That's good.
I'm glad that I was able to keep you from noticing until just now.
I am sleepy. Well, I think that does... I've got to go for the slightly extra higher damage against kinetics, and I will attack kinetics.
Yep, for 12. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm not going to attempt to exhaust. Well, hold on. I could spend 2 to exhaust your hidden character.
Would it make you feel better?
If I did that, you couldn't hit Maddie Franklin for free with the printed values.
I don't believe I could anyway.
Because you're Legionnaires.
Yeah. I don't have any large characters. I haven't all game.
That's true.
Well, I've had the 2, but you
Sure.
keep exhausting them.
Okay. We'll go with attack kinetics. Yeah, at this point you would have flipped it if you had it this turn. So yes, I will attack kinetics with printed values.
Yeah, so I will take 11 from that.
That's a good hit.
Woof.
Well, I need it. It's my initiative. If you do have Marvell, which is certainly likely, it'll still be a fight. Because he big.
He big.
He big.
I will be recovering kinetics. Apparition will also surge.
Yeah.
Boy, I almost never get to surge in this deck.
Yeah,
That
no.
felt weird.
It was a little strange. That card is unuseful.
What can I do here? Not a ton. I'm just gonna crowd. I don't really have
Crowd
a-
as you must.
Yeah.
Crowd as you must.
There's nothing really stackable. I mean, I guess Home Sweet Home doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I will stack my already used plot twists.
I only have the 1. I don't need to stack. I will be recruiting Marvel. I will not be replacing him, which is why I don't need to stack.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. So you should read him
Not
again
foreseeable.
for old time's sake.
Yep.
Real good.
Marvel's power is, and it's not Marvel, it's Monel. Monel's power
yeah.
is when Monel comes into play.
Mhm.
Characters I control get +1/+1 this turn for each cosmic character I control. That is 5.
Yep.
Very generic.
So your whole team is
+5/+5, and just Superman is also +3/+3.
Jeez, it's still pretty monstrous, man. And you've got 3 counters with which to exhaust.
I wish it
things.
was bigger. I do have 3 counters, and I can pay 3 endurance to magic up a 4th.
Yep. There'll be more. So how do I do this? I have 2 choices. I will recruit Electra. Electra's concealed optional. She has range. She has pay 17 attack this turn. Target defender's defense becomes 0 this attack. Use only if she is attacking.
Interesting. It's a good formation. Makes things a little tricky.
Yeah, you definitely have a strong advantage this turn. So the question is, can I survive this turn and leverage an advantage next turn? That is the question. I guess you're low enough, you do have to be a little careful this turn. But you got a lot of them that are stats. A lot of them are stats.
Oh, Kyle. Oh, Kyle.
It's funny, stat-wise, you just turned your team into my team. God damn it, Marvel, why? My consolation is I have a lot of annoying shit on the board, so yeah. This is kind of a battle of the stasis exhaust decks, which is weird. Even though my deck is pay attack, it's mostly pay attack to exhaust. Not entirely, but mostly.
Read me, Electra.
Pay 17 attack this turn. Target defender's defense becomes 0 this attack. Use only if Electra is attacking.
There's something tricky there that's going to happen, and I don't know what it is yet.
Fine.
But I can't attack her.
Totally fine.
I cannot. I must attack Venom. And I must do it with Marvel.
Oh, that's a big attack.
It's quite a big attack.
Very big attack. That's a very big attack. Very big. I will exhaust Venom to play Empire State U. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage. I mean, if I don't reinforce, you are going to exhaust Daredevil, as you must. That's the reason you attacked Venom, was not to attack Venom, but to force me to lose Venom and Daredevil in the attack, which is a reasonable play. I'm going to reinforce. Thus and such.
I will exhaust the remaining 2.
Indeed you shall. So now what do I do with Elektra? Well, first I'm going to take a bunch of damage. Take 5 damage.
Not a bunch. It's 5.
It's like more than 20% of my life. Okay, so Superman's real big. He real big. 12 attack. It's not trivial. Kinetics, she less big.
She's a 10-9. Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. You're at 11. Almost tempting to go for Marvel because he's 8 points of damage, and Elektra doesn't deal breakthrough in this circumstance. If I use her power, I don't have to use her power. I could just swing. What's the most I could do? I mean, I might want to get Superman off the board. It's not a trivial play. Doesn't solve my kinetics problem. I don't think I can get you with just Elektra in pretty much any circumstance. So that means I have to play for survival, which means I need to remove as much of your attack from the board as humanly possible. That is my course. So the only path for that is to attack Superman with Elektra. Currently, as printed, let me see if I do anything else. So this is a little weird, but I think it's the right play. I'm going to play Feminine Wiles in a way that I've never quite played it. Feminine Wiles says target character gets minus X attack this turn, where X is the cost of a Spider Friend's attacker you control. And I will target Kinetics to reduce her attack by 7 for the turn.
Ah, interesting.
I have to do that while I'm attacking.
I'm sorry, read it again?
Target character gets minus X attack this turn, where X is the cost of a Spider Friend's attacker you control. So right now I am merely as printed, a 17-14. Your defense is 11 and your attack is 12. So I would deal you 9 damage from that attack. It's actually a very, very important number. Because that is precisely the cost of Bouncing Boy. And by that I mean the amount of life you will have left over is precisely the cost of
Something's off. What did you just say? My defense is not...
11?
It is 11.
So I deal 6 breakthrough, 3 for the stun.
I see.
So I was summing that up.
Right.
Speculating that would put you in a position where you could not self-stun Bouncing Boy.
Right. I don't know if it would be useful to at this point.
Maybe not. Thusly, I concluded my tacos. I think thus far the bold trick of Electra is she's big.
Mm-hmm.
Actually been got for really cheap the Electra movie.
I will pull his counter.
That's a good choice.
And then I will take 9.
Indeed. But yeah, the Electra movie, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was god-awful, but also kind of funny bad. I'm looking forward to watching that again since I got it on the cheap. That was my attack.
Going to attack Matty Franklin with Apparition.
Right. So I need to decide if I want to evade or not. If I do evade, I will get Matty back. You are plus 5 plus 5. So take 5 damage. You're still going to get one more of my characters, I think. Maybe. Probably. But perhaps not. I am going to play What Are Friends For? Target attacker gets minus 5 defense in this attack.
Blue.
It's damn close.
Okay,
You're still going to get the stun,
Yeah.
and it doesn't kill you, but it will inhibit your ability to do a subsequent attack if I am successful with that one.
Well, yeah, it's going to work.
So I will take 5 and get 13. I must pass.
As I must as well.
You could still self-stun Bouncing Boy. I don't know if it's useful.
I
But it's
don't
not.
think it is.
I'm putting it out there because I don't know.
Christ, it is.
Yeah. So Bouncing Boy attacks Daredevil
Sure. Yeah, that's right.
and bounces back to your hand in the process. I can't deal you the 1, so there you go. And we go to, I of course will lose Maddie and go to turn 9. I suppose not too much of a surprise in 2 decks that have stall capability, both of which got some mediocre draws. Oh, it's that card that I like. That is so inconsequential right now. That's sort of funny. Alright, so what am I going to have to contend with? Stuff. I'm going to have stuff to contend with. think I am going to recruit... What are the odds that you are going to get? I killed a lot of your stuff. A lot of the dudes, but there's still certain cards that could foil certain things that I would want to do. Opening play is probably that, which means that's going to happen, and that's just annoying. Okay. I'm going to recruit... It's bad. Sleepwalker and Punisher. Punisher's power.
Sleepwalker being a real pain in the ass.
He's pretty linchpin. Punisher's power is pay 1 attack this turn. Target character gets -1 defense this turn. But I can only do that during the combat phase and only if he has not been in combat this turn. Sleepwalker is concealed and has discard a card to switch the attack and defense of target attacker you control this attack. Use only once per turn.
Oh boy.
Yes. That is the threat of Electro. Now for my formation. That is a bit more of a quandary. Because I'm going to be forced to face a very difficult choice about whether or not I go for kinetics or Monel. It probably depends on what you play. I probably do this. And hope you don't have a very specific thing. But you might.
But I might.
There's only one thing that I can think of that would make me sad. Deeply wound me to the quick. But if you don't have it, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Did I say that was my formation? That's my formation.
I will boost Bouncing Boy. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
1.
That's concerning.
I will remove Bouncing Boy's counter for 3 life. I will pay 1 life. The characters named Superman are not unique this turn.
Oh my.
I will recruit Superman.
Ooh, that's nasty, Superman.
Whose power is activate. Remove a cosmic counter from Superman's stun target character if its cost is less than or equal to the number of team... Superman characters with cosmic control.
Oh no! Did you know?
That's not what I want. That is 3. That is not ideal.
You can get Punisher.
Ooh.
Man, you really just did not
Yeah.
get that team up. That is unfortunate. I think it's cost you a little here and there, but that's a big one.
Yep.
It cost you when you flipped Kandor.
I guess he's a big attacker-ish. Bigger attacker.
Oh, he's team stamped.
Gonna do the thing. I can't stop it. I need to reinforce. I will do it like God. I have to put Superman in my back row. That's sad.
Yep.
That's it. Is that right? Yeah, it's probably this. It's probably that.
That's probably a little better. So Superman is activate to do that?
Yep. I can do it at any time. I can even do it right now.
Yep.
But 3 is stupid.
You're doing it right now. He's kind of stupid. You have to exhaust him to do it?
I do, and I have to remove his counter as well.
Yep. Well.
That worked better before I read him. I mean, I still think I would have struggled to stay in this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, I was hoping to eliminate either Sleepwalker or Venom.
Sleepwalker would have been a good hit. Venom would have been a good hit. So I do exhaust somebody of 4 or less. I'm actually going to choose Bax Superman that I can exhaust. And then Do you want to reconsider...
It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess... Actually, you can't even reinforce with him against Monel because of the team stamp issue.
You're correct.
So you meant to put kinetics
yes,
back there.
But then I assume you exhaust kinetics.
That is correct. But it still means that the play now, like, that is still the right play. That is what you meant to do. So I do that.
You do that.
I do that, and then Electra will attack Marvel. And I am going to reduce his defense and my attack to 0. And I'm going to discard a card to switch my stats. So I am a 14-0.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I hope you didn't have a magical reinforcement card, or I shall feel moderately silly.
I will take
Like a zillion.
22.
Yerp. But yeah, my play is definitely to not go to exhaust you at this point, but to just go for as much damage as possible. Even though you will get to exhaust me a bit back. Because I think I've just got big enough dudes that it's all good. I am also stunned, for what it's worth. I am stunned for 7. That is still clearly a net gain in my favor.
It is going to matter a little.
Doesn't matter. I think you're going to get me below 0. I think that is likely. Or at least you could play for that. Might be a better way to put that. Does 3-cost Superman get his bonus? He's just got +4 attack when he's got his counter while attacking? Is that what it is? Or at all times?
Well, attacking from the front row.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to take care of this bit of garbage while you contemplate. Sitting is difficult, man. I'm looking forward to sleeping. I got work to do tomorrow, but I will be sleeping in, and that will be pretty awesome. Do enjoy
You just
sleep.
get the whale. Like, there's really nothing I can do to stop the whaling.
Well,
Not even reduce it a little bit.
First of all, whaling's illegal these days. Yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good position here. The first 6 turns, I think were
my
close.
best play is to exhaust the 5-drop.
Sure. Yep.
And team attack the 6-drop.
That's not bad.
I do have a play. It doesn't swing much, but I can give that team attack +5 attack and make one of the team attackers invulnerable. I will choose the larger Superman.
Sure. I mean, I can't do anything about that. Your attack is how much? I guess little Superman's bigger, right? So it's pretty big.
21.
21's pretty big. Because the plot twist is +5 by itself. +5?
Yep.
I will deal the damage to little Superman.
Take 3.
I'll take 6. I am at 0.
There's attack to be had yet.
Yeah. Though, I mean, I guess the right play is to attack Bouncing Boy with Sleepwalker. Just straight up. And then I will reduce your defense by 4 and make my attack 0 with Punisher.
Okay. So I will take 10. I think is the math on that.
Yes. I think you are 1 shy of counter-stunning.
Bouncing Boy has 1 attack.
Oh, right. Yep, I'll remember one day that you don't have a team. And we are done. I actually think the first 6 turns it was close, and then you not having the team up started to really hurt. I don't actually think it hurt you much.
I'm surprised I went that long without getting them.
That is very unusual.
It was 9?
That was 9. That is a very unusual situation. Just no team ups anymore. But we both actually had kind of mediocre draws until.
Well, I wasn't able to because you had a strong enough exhaust. I wasn't able to finish you off with the Monel surge.
Right.
Like even without the team up, like
no, you still could have won that game for sure.
is a way that this deck can play.
Yep.
But then it's mostly just stalling to mono.
Right.
And the Monel surge was not enough to overcome your silly shenanigans.
Yep. Which is also your silly shenanigans. It's a weird scenario when you get sort of exhausting. I very clearly was playing to survive Monel on that turn rather than get greedy, because if I knew if I got even a little greedy, I'd end up...
Well, I just didn't have the wherewithal to finish you off. Most of my resource row was characters. I played everything I had.
Yep. Yeah, Legionnaires does have, similar to Spider-Man, actually. They've got pretty strong characters and powers, but also pretty crazy plot twists. Legionnaires have some really good plot twists, and your deck is built around Legionnaires and Superman, really. You picked some really strong... Kandor is really strong, but of course, the team-up helps a lot. And again, I don't think the team-up itself was a significant factor until actually, it was a factor on the turn you flipped Kandor, which was 6, but I didn't know it, so it wasn't a factor. But on 7, it started to be a real issue when you must ask the question, and I called out the question, and, it's like, oh, no, this character's weak, and I'm like, I see, there is a hole in the armor. But it's a testament to how scary your deck actually is, that even as I was starting to grow in power, and starting to make my drops, which I had in early game, and I'm like, I'm starting to get ahead, but if you'd gotten your team up, I probably would have lost. Or at least, it would have been indeterminate. Like, it would have been a much, much closer match. But because you continued to not get your team up...
Well, quick one.
Quick one, okay.
Not 2. Yeah, we won't get to 2.
Yeah, that'd be pretty unlikely. Let me just take a look and see if either of these decks is particularly long-winded. I don't think so. I don't think so. We could do either of these. Would you have a preference between A or double A?
My double A is easier and more fun.
Your double A's are?
That is
double A.
the double A that is queued.
Oh,
I looked ahead, even though I said I would.
Right. Well, there's a time and a place for it.
My A is very technical and doesn't work, so that would be.
Yep. Then we shall make the wiser choice.
And we'll try to remember for next week to play double A's. I mean A's. Whatever the one we're not playing is.
Indeed.
Looks like we're not working through the A's very well. Based on what I'm crossing off. I think double A is my favorite category.
Well, they're the best category because we both have a lot of that.
That may be.
And that's at least part of it anyway. But I also feel like double A's are a little more reliable than A's. They usually get to do some part of their thing. They can still have bad draws. And they have fewer holes, so the matchups are just a little better. I think we get better games out of our double A matchups. Usually. Not always, but usually. The A's, because they're a little bit less frequently successful, if one of them is successful at doing a thing and it has a thing it can do, and the other A doesn't, you end up with a questionable matchup. So I think that bad matchups are a little more common in the A space.
That may be. Well, you don't have very many A's, and a handful of yours have hard counters.
That's also true. Well, I think that's part of the issue with A's, is they have weaknesses. I will go the outer die. I lost. You may decide.
I will go odds. I think I'm going to keep these.
Yeah, I'm going to keep these also. It's about the right something. You went odds.
Yep. I'm going to play that.
You will.
Now I'll recruit Mr. Winslow Shote, the Toy Man, whose power is vengeance. Whenever Winslow Shote becomes stunned, you may put target card from a KO'd pile on top of its owner's deck.
I do not have a 1-drop.
So Mr. Shote will hit you for 2.
I'm going to take 2. Taking the 2. Joke's on you, he didn't get stunned.
Don't.
Oh my god.
Don't.
My draws. So my last draw, I sure did have 3 speedball right out of the gate, and it was very odd that provided me an opportunity to do something, because that's normally 3 speedballs is not a useful scenario.
That was in fact the perfect scenario to have 3 speedballs.
I have Viper. She is concealed optional. I will choose to make her concealed. She says visible characters you control get +1 attack.
Vertigo.
I don't know.
I will choose not to play a 2-drop at this time.
Still advantageous for, yeah, I'm gonna attack you for 2. Still the right choice. I'm gonna take damage.
2.
I also take 2. Oh no, deck. What in the hell? I feel like tonight's draws have been odd. In the game and a half we've played. Very odd. It is now your initiative. Funny draw. Funny draw.
I'm going to recruit. Oh, no.
No?
No.
No.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Should I do shenanigans? I should.
Do you have the energy for shenanigans?
I don't know. We'll find out. Burp. Oh, interesting. Fascinating. Things are afoot. I'm going to recruit Two-Face. Two-Face's power is I may discard a card. If that card's cost is odd, Two-Face gets +2/+2 this turn. I may do that only once per turn. I'm going to discard Mad Hatter to make Two-Face +2/+2 this turn. Mad Hatter is a 1-cost card. Whenever Mad Hatter is discarded during the combat phase, I'll wait for the combat phase for this.
Fair enough. I do not have a drop.
Oh. Whenever Mad Hatter is discarded during the combat phase, you may put him into play if you control an Arkham Inmates or Secret 6 character and have not controlled a character named Mad Hatter this turn.
Huh. I don't know if I've ever seen you do that before. That's kind
Usually I don't want him, he's a 1-drop. He's not even a very good 1-drop.
I'm going to take a lot of damage this turn.
That's the hope.
I can't, it's your attack.
I mean, you don't even know.
I don't have visible characters. You're going to deal me, if you do nothing, you're going to deal me 10 damage on turn 3.
Oh, wait, it gets worse.
Yeah. Well, me not playing characters is bad.
I will reveal that I have Striker's Island, whose power is activate. Target attacker I control gets +1 attack for each different cost among face-up resources you control.
Yeah.
I will also reveal that I have the Graveyard of Solitude, whose power is activate. Target Revenge Squad attack you control gets +1 attack this attack for each ongoing plot twist you control. I will also reveal that I have Beside Myself, which I may play only if I control an Arkham Inmates character. Ongoing Insanity. Whenever you draw a card, flip a coin. Okay. If you win the flip, draw an additional card, and I will roll the die whenever I draw a card, and if it's even, I will draw a card. That is the simple way we represent that. But then, Winslow Shote is going to attack you for 6.
Shit. Just Winslow Shote?
Well, none of the others can attack with him.
Oh. Huh. Okay. I'll take 6. I guess I'm going to attack the Hatter, because that still saves me a little, which is sad. I'm going to flip the Hellfire Club. Hidden attackers get +1 attack.
Ooh.
Also, I may activate it to move target Hellfire Club character with concealed you control to your hidden or visible area.
I'll take 3.
I'll take 2.
And then Two-Face will attack you for 6.
Oh, my face. Well, that was painful. Sure was painful.
it's even. I will draw 3 cards.
Alrighty, so it is now my achieve. That's cool. I'm going to recruit Roberto da Costa into my visible area. He has concealed optional. He also has a leader power. Characters adjacent to Roberto da Costa have the Hellfire Club affiliation, and also when a mutant adjacent to Roberto da Costa attacks or defends, power up that mutant. He's currently the only mutant I have in play. Then I'm going to do something very odd. I'm going to reveal from my hand the Hellfire Club Initiate. I may discard a non-army Hellfire Club character card rather than pay the Hellfire Club Initiate's recruit cost. If I do, they enter play exhausted. As a reminder, Viper says, visible characters I control get +1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
So DaCosta is a 9/6.
I'm going to recruit Anarchy and Professor Emil Hamilton. Anarchy's power is whenever Anarchy attacks an exhausted character, that character can't ready this turn.
Yep.
And Professor Emil Hamilton's power is whenever Professor Emil Hamilton becomes stunned, you may KO a resource you control. If you do, search your deck for an ongoing plot twist card, reveal it, and put it face down into your resource row.
Right. So he's resource row correction.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. And Two-Face says you can discard someone and he gets bigger. But it must be an odd
I
character
can discard
card.
a card, and if it's odd, he's +2/+2 for the turn.
Right. Graveyard of Solitude is plus attack when attacking based on different cost or ongoing
Graveyard
plot.
of Solitude is ongoing plot twist. Striker's Island is different cost among plot twists.
Both are only on attack.
Both are only on attack.
I think Roberto will attack Two-Face. 9/6.
So, I could discard a card
You could,
and possibly get the counter stun.
possibly, but it must be an odd card.
It must be an odd card. I think I will not do that. I think I will just reinforce.
It's interesting. It doesn't even have to be a character card. Sure. It is to you.
I think that Anarchy is going to attack Roberto da Costa.
Cannot ready this turn. That was a possibility I was aware of. Still got a reasonable amount of firepower out there. Which I am not largely keen on. Interesting.
Oh, actually,
Yes.
I absolutely could have almost got the counter stun there. Got the stun. Let's do that. Let's
We'll
say
try it.
during that attack, I activated my 2 locations for +5 attack.
Oh, interesting. Sure.
So my attack was 7.
Okay. I am going to flip Shaw Industries from my resource row. While you control exactly 1 visible character, gets +1/+1. While you control 2 or more hidden Hellfire Club characters, that character gets an additional +1/+1.
That's exactly the right amount.
Which is precisely
Never-ending battle, which is the
Still-
thing I flip, says play only if you control a Revenge Squad character. ongoing, discard a plot twist card. Target attacker or defender gets a -2 defense this attack.
I see.
But I will not be doing that.
Indeed. So they did reduce, arguably, the incoming threat.
That's true.
So is there any advantage to me in doing anything with Viper? Yeah, I think I'm going to attack Mad Hatter. I might as well.
Might as well. I will take 2 if you do nothing else.
Yep, that is... my hidden attackers do have +1 attack.
I will take 3 then.
And then I will take 2.
I think I keep Anarchy over Two-Face. I don't like Two-Face very much.
So I have one decision to make, which will not affect your decision, but I need to decide if I activate...
I apologize. That turn would kind of gone exactly the same way, but I cannot target Anarchy with the Graveyard of Solitude. That is why I did not do that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I wasn't planning to pursue with Ruin, so...
That's okay.
But I did make you reveal stuff unnecessarily then.
It's alright. We will carry on as though it didn't matter. Yeah, I think it's the right play to have activated Hellfire Club to move this character hidden, and then we're ready for this. During the recovery phase. Okay. Yeah, just to shift my board state, because you can only do that once a turn, so it is
no, I got an extra card.
A thing of contemplation. Well, that's moderately annoying.
I'm sorry. I know you hate that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't hate that one as much as... The one that I hate is... like, that one is annoying, but it's only annoying. The one that I hate is the ongoing plot twist and character, and you get to put them both in your hand. That one's really annoying. So I am going to put a card in my resource row and immediately flip it, which is my search card. As an additional cost to play it, discard a Hellfire Club character. I'll discard another Viper to search my deck for a character card with Concealed.
Just a reminder, it's my initiative, so...
That is fine. So I will do that and reveal the card that I have searched for upon the conclusion of your recruitment. It was unlikely to change, but it could. But we'll act like it won't.
Wow, weird. Circumstantially, this is the better play, and I don't like that. I'm going to recruit Maxima, whose power is Vengeance. Whenever Maxima becomes stunned while attacking, characters my opponent's control get -2 attack this turn.
It's a good, very good power. She's like a slightly less annoying but larger scale version of Vertigo. Or no, same scale, but bigger.
She's the same scale but bigger.
Yes, like her effect. I'm going to reveal that I've searched for and recruit Shinobi Shaw to my visible area.
Oh, that's right.
Shinobi Shaw says whenever he attacks or defends, if he's the only visible character, he gets a 1/1 counter. I will put him in my front row. Yep. I will also put the Hellfire Club Initiative in my front row as well. I just said as well twice in the same sentence. Well done, me. So Shinobi Shaw is pretty big right now because I have 2 or more hidden Hellfire Club character cards. So when you consider Shaw Industry in the equation, he is +2/+2. Should you attack him, he will get a counter.
Boy, I'd like to hit him with Anarchy and probably can't. And that means I probably also can't use Emil Hamilton. I really would like to. My solace is you're not going to get to do shit this turn.
Right, if I attack with him...
I might get to swing through for a bunch as well.
A lot of options on the table. I love this card. It doesn't work a lot of the time. You'll lose something this game.
Well, Maxima's going to attack Shinobi Shaw.
Right.
My attack is 10, which means it's currently 1 shy of your defense. Is that correct?
That is my arithmetic as well.
So, how would I like to do this?
Certainly have some options.
I'm going to reveal that I have Bizarro Brawl.
Sorry, before you reveal that, if you are attacking Shinobi Shaw, he gets a counter.
Right.
So his defense is 12.
2 shy.
You are 2 shy. It may matter.
I'm going to reveal that I have Bizarro Brawl, which is an ongoing plot twist whose power is insanity free. target Revenge Squad attacker or defender you control gets +6 attack, where X is the number of ongoing plot twists you control. Use only once per turn.
Ooh, so you get 3 out of that.
But we're going to start with the Graveyard of Solitude for 3.
Sorry, when you use the free one, what is is there any additional?
It's equivalent to Graveyard of Solitude, but it's free and it's on attack or defense.
So it's actually a better version of Graveyard.
It is better.
Whoa.
There's once per turn, of course.
Right. Still quite potent.
And it is insanity.
It's pretty crazy. Boy, I don't see a way to not take a bajillion damage this turn, but I guess I don't get anarchied. That's nice. Right. Right on. This is gonna work. Wish I could do something fancy. I guess you get stunned back.
I do, which means your attackers are -2 attack this turn. And by that I mean your characters are -2 attack this turn.
That's consequential, and that's annoying.
Alright, sure I read that right. She doesn't fire much. Characters your opponents control get -2 attack this turn.
It's real good. So I take 6 from that. I'm 24. Oh, this turn is gonna hurt. Let me see. Is there anything I can do? I could move something visible. Interesting. I can do something kind of weird. Can we rewind it just a little?
Of course.
That previous attack. So let's say you did that attack.
Mm-hmm.
I get the counter. Let me see. Can I get away with that? No, maybe I can't. That's really funny. What is more useful then? Oy vey. So that's free for a bunch of attack.
3, technically, at this very moment, yes.
And the other one is different cost, which is also 3. Yeah, I don't think it's that useful. But that means you've got at least 6 more beyond the 6 that at face value can hit me with. So I'm taking another 12 this turn. F. Alright, sorry. So, I didn't touch my life dice, so that just stays.
So you did nothing?
I did
Was that
nothing.
what the
That is
resolution of
correct.
that was?
That is correct. And I'm not ecstatic about it, but... So now I've got to decide if I'm going to do anything else. Anything else. A -2 attack damage across the board. So much minus attack. It's really annoying. That's really annoying.
I think I did, right?
I think you did.
Well,
-2 attack at all times.
just for the turn.
At all times for the turn. So, is it useful to do that? Maybe? How close am I cutting it if I do that? Pretty effing close. Boy, that's something. We have backup plans. Sort of. Oh, that's weird. I think I'm gonna pass.
I guess Emil will attack you for 10.
Yeah.
And you pass, and then Anarchy attacks you for 2.
Jeez Louise. Well, at least I still have Shinobi, and now I got Roberto. That'll show you. Get him, Berto.
No extra.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting. Boy, that would have been really useful a while ago. As my initiative, I'm going to recruit Magneto. Magneto's interesting. Probably won't matter extensively. He does have flight and range in his 12-12, which is pretty good right there. He has stun a character you control. Stun target character if its cost is less than the cost of the character you stun, but only use this power once per turn and only if Magneto is your only visible character. Also, I put down a resource when you weren't looking.
How did that resource get there?
What? It's like magic! There's a card I misread too. There was a thing I thought I could do, and I'm like, I'll save this for a later occasion. And I won't.
Is that the right thing to do? That would be super weird.
Agree.
So then I do it that way, and then what? What?
What?
And you stun a character if Magneto is visible and your
He's my
visible
only visible character.
And you stun a character whose cost is less than it?
Correct.
I'm going to recruit Catwoman to my visible area there.
Okay.
I think is the correct play.
Okie doodle.
Catwoman's power is whenever Catwoman stuns a defender, choose one, draw a card, or target player discards a card.
Right. That's a thing. That's a thing. So any of your characters can get plus number of ongoing plot twists on defense. This guy, is it that one?
Yes, for my Revenge Squad characters, which is not Catwoman currently or Anarchy.
Right. Which is not Catwoman currently or Anarchy. A couple of ways I can do this. I can attempt the defensive approach, or the offensive approach. If Shinobi were to attack Catwoman, for example, I would immediately get another counter. I would in fact have +2/+2 from this still. Cannot boost her, at least with what I can see. You would need your one team-up card that you have in that deck. I think it's just one. Could be that one. The defensive choice is Shinobi attacks a smaller character you would reinforce. You would have your two bigger characters. You'd have to use one to get through Shinobi. Wouldn't have to use two because you have a billion extra attack on the board.
Probably use Maxima because her power is cool.
That's true. That's quite true. Quite true. So how do I prevent you from completely obliterating me this turn? Man. Flip side is I'll do a fair amount of breakthrough if I take care. You probably won't reinforce because you need to use Maxima as an attacker. You don't have the counter stun on the board, which is really scary. You got so many powers in that deck, though. So many of the powers. I think I have to go for it. I think I just lose unless I try and shift the momentum significantly. So I'm going to swing for Catwoman, and we'll see what happens. So right now, I am also the only visible character. So I'm +4/+4. Only visible character with 2 or more hidden characters. So I am a 14/13.
Did you get your counter from this attack yet?
I did.
Okay. Then we're going to play batter up.
Yep.
Discard a card at random. Target attacker or defender gets +X attack this attack, where X is the cost of the card you discarded.
Oh, Lord. Wonder how many of those cards will destroy me. I'm betting a majority.
It seems like I only need 3, right? Is the cost of the card. Did I do that math correct?
Yes, that's correct. I will select this card.
That card is Mr. Freeze. It is 5.
That's very sad. That is very, very sad. So your attack is
15.
15. My defense is 13. Right. So I will play Army of 1. If you control exactly 1 visible character, target Hellfire Club attacker or defender gets +2/+2. Then I will search for a power-up. Putting my defense at 16. Second from the bottom card.
How did you search?
I discarded a character card by playing Join the Club. Second one of them I'm playing, which says discard a character card to search for a card. So I am 1 ahead. And I have a lot of attack at this point, too, because all those were buffs to attack. So, just for sake of argument, I'll use this die to represent the various benefits so we can track attack. Track attack. Track attack. This is going to be one of those attacks.
It's going to work. Phew. Your attack is 17. Goodness.
This is a big attack.
I probably ought to eat it, though. I have quite a bit of life.
It's true.
I would take 13 from that.
Though I'm not without additional firepower.
That is so.
Yeah, I'm sorry for searching so quickly there. I should have been more specific.
Some of that is from the attack.
So
Your 2/2.
This is
all
his
the time,
natural counter.
and that's his natural counter.
the 2/2 comes from one of it is this card from being the only visible character. An additional one is from
Right.
this card for 2 or more hidden characters.
And then you played a plot twist during that exchange.
Which says if I control only a single visible character, I get an additional 2, and then I powered up. So it's the 2 counters, the 2 from the card, the 2 from that, and the 1
What
from
is
that.
the duration of that plot twist?
I believe all of those are the attack only, except for the location, of course.
That's what I
So
needed to know.
his counters are permanent. This is as long as he's only visible. This is only for the attack. And power up, of course. Also, only for the attack.
I can't get. All right.
You'll play this little game. Technically,
2 of
2
them.
from
Yeah.
the location. Yep, that's fair.
I hit him with Maxima.
Yep, and several buffs, I suspect.
I will use Striker's Island.
Now, sorry, which I'm having trouble keeping them all
That's
straight.
for 3.
So that's
they're pretty much all going to be 3. That's the different cost.
Okay.
I'll use Graveyard of Solitude. That's number ongoing plot twist. That's also for 3.
Also 3. So your attack right now is 16. You've already got me. Do you push it farther
No,
at this
not
point?
yet.
16. So, my defense is 14. 2 over. If that is simply taken, I will be... will be a 5. That is a small number. It's a very small number. Way too small for my liking. And then all my characters are -2 attack. Yeah, it's gonna work. I can't do nothing. Can't do naught.
I don't love that I don't have very much life either.
I know. I'm hoping I kill you more. I haven't run it. It's possible, but it's gonna be a slugfest. So I am stunned. Okay. Now how does this go down? It is my initiative now. My opportunity to attack. So I might actually be okay. I might be okay. Magneto is going to... Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Your character in the back is more vulnerable, but your character in the front is more attackable. Can attack me. So... You still have 3 more attacks, so even Anarchy can kill me if he swings through. We will have Magneto attack your dude in the back.
Oh yes, flight. Goodness.
The flying Magneto. I'm also going to flip Inner Circle. Hidden Hellfire Club characters you control. Get +1/+1 while you control 3 or more hidden characters. In addition, Magneto, perhaps unsurprisingly, is a mutant, so he is powered up from Roberto da Costa's power. My statses are 15-14. To recap, that's an additional 1/1 here, an additional 1/1 here, and 1 for being a hidden Hellfire Club character.
One more time?
15-14. 1/1. 1/1, being powered up, and then 1 attack.
So 13-14.
15-14.
No, you're a -2 attack.
Ah, yes, touche.
So 13-14.
Correct. When you account for your negative values, I suppose.
I'm going to do something odd.
I'm terrified.
And it's going to win or lose the game for
Oh
me.
God, I don't like that. I do not like that.
It's very insanity.
You have like a break you and discard your whole hand?
No, you're going to like it, I think.
Okay,
it's clever.
alright, I'm ready.
It's way cleverer than I should be able to manage tonight in
With this
game.
energy level, with an insanity deck.
So I'm going to take 13.
Wow, that's a genius move.
I will go to 5. Winslow Shoat's power is whenever Winslow Shoat becomes
interesting.
stunned, you may put target card from a code pile on top of its owner's deck.
You're selecting one of your
I
cards.
will choose Better Up.
Now, I do have 1 additional play that I can do before you attack.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it. First, I'm going to activate Hellfire Club to move a character with concealed I control to my hidden or visible area.
Mm-hmm.
I will, of course, move Magneto.
Right.
Visible. So he is not my only visible character, so this no longer applies. And, of course, he won't be powered up by Roberto anymore. But I need a big visible character.
Mm-hmm. It's a tall order. It's a tall order.
Well, I'm a tall man. For those of you at home, I'm 6'6".
use a bunch. And he is +2. No, he's not your only visible character.
That's correct. He's +1 attack only.
Don't fire.
So 13, 12. +1 attack from Viper.
So your hidden characters add up to 006. 6 more attack.
Yes.
I think I can kill you more than 6. But we'll find out. Again.
Sorry. As a reminder,
the dice.
all of my hidden attackers are +1 attack, and as long as I have 3 or more, they are all +1/+1.
So 107.
Yeah, he's still 7. Yeah, he's a 1 because he's plus 2.
That's closer.
Like these two, they're actually like their stats because these two are negated by your reduction.
Right.
So they are. I have. Whatever that is.
Yeah,
11.
I get it.
11
I get
attack is the attack
I'm
that
with
I
you.
have.
It's fine.
Unless I play stuff. Maybe I have more stuff. You don't know me. I could have stuff.
You could have stuff. So here's what we do. This is the clever play, which you
I'm
interrupted,
ready.
sir. I'm going to play Jack in the Box. Choose a number, reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a card with the cost equal to that number. I choose 3.
3.
Put that card into your hand and shuffle the rest on your deck. That's weird. Batter Up costs 3.
That is clever. That is clever. That's a clever play.
I thought so.
I'm feeling it.
So
I'm so sleepy I don't remember what it does. Batter Up does attack stuff.
I'm going to attack Magneto with
Oh
Professor
my God.
Emil.
Oh my
Hamilton.
word. That is inappropriate.
And I'm going to play Batter Up.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, this is the discard a card at random.
Insanity. Discard a card at random. Target attacker or defender gets +X attack this attack, where X is the cost of the card you discarded.
And you still have 3 from that other card because it's ongoing plot twist, right? So you effectively have 7. So you need to get 5 more.
2 of these cards get me out of this jam. One of them does not.
Just reviewing my cards. We'll select the middle card.
The middle card is... Oh, good, it's the Joker. That'll be fun.
Oh, no.
So I'm +3 attack. Whenever the Joker is discarded, you may remove him from the game. If you do, shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw a card for each card you shuffled in.
Interesting.
I will shuffle my hand into my deck and draw
So that is not determinate.
3 cards.
So you will. Interesting. It is all...
It's fine, don't worry about it.
So just so we're clear, your attack is, well, 7 plus 3 more if you use your card. So you're up to 10, and you're about to draw 3 cards.
That's true. Think I can't get 2 attack and 3 cards? Come on.
It's insanity. It's insanity. I like that the card that I revealed was not conclusive. That is the best possible outcome. The best outcome is this keeps going and we have no idea what's happening. We're going to cut now. We're going to cut to there.
Okay.
That's the spot.
Let's see how we did.
Those are all nothing cards. I can't decide if I want this to succeed, to be honest. Part of me kind of wants this to succeed.
Oh, shucks. That was absolutely nothing.
Was it
Really?
really?
Oh, that's so sad.
That's
Like,
very
any
nice.
plot twist is
Yeah,
-2,
no, I know.
and...
Oh, that's right. You just needed any plot twist. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My cut was too good.
Yeah. Wow, that's surprising, actually. Like, I had so many outs.
You had outs. Well, first of all, I mean, outside of the even discarding the plot twist, so many of your plot twists are attack buffs, so that's probably 1 in 3 right there.
So here's what happens.
Okay.
I'm not out of this, by the way.
That's scary.
I'm probably out of
Okay,
this.
that's fair.
But I'm not out of it.
Okay.
So that attack's going to fail. My attack is only 7. At best, I can get it to 10. The crap.
Why are you not out of it? Why on earth are you...
Well, because now Professor Emil Hamilton's done, so I KO Jack in the Box and I will get whatever ongoing plot twist I want. And I don't think there are any ongoing plot twists in this deck that will save me, but I don't know.
But you get to look.
And I get to look.
Man.
So many outs.
I can't believe
so many outs.
I had totally forgotten. Like, I was assuming, like, about 1 in 4 odds, to be honest. But with you drawing 3 cards, that's pretty good. However, I had forgotten that you could discard a plot twist, right? Any plot twist to reduce my defense by 2. So based on that, the odds were significantly in your favor to get one of those 3 to be a plot twist.
What an odd thing to do just now. That's also pretty good.
What is going on?
I don't think that saves me, though, which means the other one is right. Yeah. Wait. Oh, no, I can't get that. Alright. The ongoing plot twist is... It's amazing. The hookup.
What? Of all cards?
That's fine.
Oh, you're going
To play, choose 2 different team affiliations from among characters you control.
So good.
I choose... God. I choose... Revenge Squad and Arkham Inmates. I actually don't need to choose. No, let me double check. I might need to choose. No, I choose Arkham Inmates and Gotham Knights.
Okay.
Ongoing crossover with the chosen affiliations. Discard a Gotham Knights character card. Draw a card. Use only once per turn.
So 3 cards is not enough. All right, we're gonna cut to right here. Surely this will be a card. Any plot twist.
Well, that attack is already resolved, so
that's true.
Now I need
That's
to
true.
beef up Anarchy, which is even harder.
You're right. I had forgotten.
But I will discard Matt Hagen Clayface to draw just 1 card. That wasn't a savior.
Well,
I tried. You can't say I didn't try.
No, that was.
I did an awful lot of stuff with that attack.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir. So my whole team, instead of being
a bunch of characters in a power armor. How did I even do that? That's silly.
That is funny. So I don't have any tricks, but I can attack you for 11. So that's what I do.
And I can only get up to 6. Dang.
That was unbelievable.
I enjoy that. That's why I love Insanity. You do crazy weird stuff like that.
I almost feel like you played them better being drunk with madness over there. Like, you're like, I'm going to do this thing, followed by all of this makes sense
I've lost
now.
my last attacker. Well, I'm going to search for a team-up.
Only a team-up will save me now. A team-up and Anarchy. My 2-1
Which I can only play because I have a Gotham Knights character randomly. Oy. That was fun.
That was good times. I'm really glad I picked the Joker. What did you have, like Joker and 2 5 costs?
I had a 7 cost, which
Okay.
I think was enough.
That would have gotten me, yeah.
I had the 4 cost, which was nothing, and then I had the Joker, which was draw some cards.
Oh, interesting.
I thought I misread him. I thought he was shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw 5 cards. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get like a whole bunch of cards. And it was like only 3.
Yeah,
But still, I had good odds
Yeah, you
of
had
getting something.
Well, all you needed was any plot twist you could discard. So I had no defensive power-ups. So the risk there, that was a hilarious
Like
conclusion.
Jack in the Box to get a card out of my KO'd pile.
That was really clever. Jack in the Box. Yeah, like, and it was who got stunned for that? That was
Winslow Shoat, the Toy Man.
Who knew Winslow Shoat, the Toy Man, and Jack in the Box would be such a daring duo? I mean, that was absurd. So you had 1 card that guaranteed would have gotten the stun, assuming I had no defensive bumps, which I didn't. 1 card which actually would have been a genuine fizzle,
Right.
and then
That's
the
why I said
interesting one.
2 out of 3 of these
Right.
cards.
And then
Give me a shot.
And the interesting one was not a trivial shot. Like, I want to emphasize again, when that initially was played, I'm thinking, okay, there's a ton of plot twists in there that can give you attack, and it's not a trivial amount. Most of the attack buffs are pretty significant. But I had not considered that you could have gotten away with any plot twist just from that discard. So your odds were really good there. If we assume that, what's your ratio?
60-40 usually. Probably in this deck it's 60-40.
Right, 60-40. So that means that you had, I mean, the odds were in your favor. by a pretty decent margin to get.
By the play, I only got 2 cards, so I rolled to get the extra card, and that means the odds it was likely that I would have a plot twist.
Right, because with 2 cards, odds are in your favor. 3 cards significantly in your favor. You going, man? That was crazy.
It was insane. Well, hey, Chris stuck around long enough to see that. Wow, it's late for you, Chris. Thanks for sticking around.
Yep. That was
he saw our crazy play. I'm glad he enjoyed that.
Yep.
Oh.
That was pretty magical. I am glad. I'm also glad that I feel like Hellfire Club is one of those decks that always has this kind of scary looming potential, but it needs a lot of pieces to do cool stuff and to provide that threat. So it's good to hear you were playing a little HOTS, Chris. Have you been sticking with that overall and playing with Casey and so forth? Oh, wow, 3 of 4.
Nice.
That is wonderful.
I just love about Insanity. I mean, that was the titular Insanity game.
That was fantastic.
That was just like,
that was great.
I don't know if I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna do 6 things.
Well, and I love that the play that was so crazy really had everything at stake. Like, it wasn't just like, this, maybe I'll do some stuff and then do a lot of steps. And, sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do, like, technical plays that don't actually have high stakes. But you can't get higher stakes than I punch through or I don't on the final turn that will determine the fate of everything. So that was pretty great. Oh, towers, yeah. Well, I am glad to hear you're sticking with HOTS. Hopefully, probably next week during the week, I might get a couple of nights of HOTS in. The worst case scenario, the following week. I'm hoping that my work schedule is getting back to normal. So I'll look forward to playing with you guys again, both of you. I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed this night of cards. This was good.
Yeah, we'll do it again next week, I think.
So I was going to actually ask, what are our odds? I know you're still pushing pretty hard.
I mean, we're trying to. I will let you know during the week.
Sure.
I think my assessment right now is likely that I can continue to make the time for this, which is what I have been doing, and continuing to work a lot.
Right.
So I may continue to be tired. Hopefully not nearly as tired as
I hope not this tired. I hope you get some good rest this weekend.
Yeah,
You're
I'm really looking forward to it.
You need it. And, Chris didn't quite get the witness to this, but I was coming to Ian earlier that when you looked vaguely like a cartoon character when I got in the car. You had, like, abnormally frazzled hair. The tie even was a little angled beyond normal, and it looks like you just got out of a dryer. And I'm like, Ian needs sleep.
I cried today because they replaced my parking spot with a bunch of bikes.
We're tired, but give it the 60-second version of the story instead of the one because it was pretty great.
Sure that's it. I was driving to Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe, and they had replaced the spot that I normally park in with a bunch of like
a bike rack. You were saying.
Borrow. Like, there's this new program. They're putting them everywhere in Emeryville. It's kind of annoying. Like, rent a bike or something, and you take it from one and you drop it off at another.
So stupid.
But I was from being so tired, emotionally on edge, and I literally just shouted and banged my hand on the steering wheel. I shouted, "My parking has been replaced with bikes," or something to that effect. And I was crying.
Yeah, well, and the tears were like...
I think I was crying at the
absurdity.
Genuineness of my reaction and how absurd it was, given that there were like 3 other people in my car as well.
Right, it's full car of people this whole time. There's like an extreme reaction, and then you were either laughing or crying or both, or laughing because you were crying or crying because you were laughing. I don't know. But it sounds pretty marvelous. I'm sorry I didn't witness it. I got a little mild reenactment of the steering wheel attack that was henceforth illustrated. But
I didn't swear, which is unusual for me. It was just a pure.
That's how you can tell you're really angry. Yeah, that's how you're really angry. Like, no profanity, and that is our generation. Like for people our age, give or take a certain number of years, it's when you don't really swear that you're actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad place for it. It was just, I was not prepared. When I'm tired, my coping skills go out the window, and as I said, I'm more tired than I've been in
You can't regulate.
years,
People can't regulate.
I'm sure.
And you're
I was
right,
not
Chris.
prepared for bikes instead of parking. I was forced to go down the road a little bit and park beyond the bikes.
No, it's really isn't a bad place for it. It is next to the city hall. I wish the cyclists, like, I want to actually be a proponent of, like, people cycling, because yes, it's better for the environment, and on paper, there's like less clutter from that because you get less traffic congestion.
Well,
but the cyclists just don't pay any blasted attention to any laws, rules, or regulations that are supposed to keep them and everybody else safe, and it's infuriating.
That's true, but counterpoint to your previous statement, it's a feel-good idea that doesn't really solve problems.
Might be.
There are more people born, more people entering into existence just from population growth than current employed people can replace their commutes with bikes. It's not a solution.
Right. Yeah, I mean, dealing with overpopulation, we may not have a solution to that at this point. I mean, China's got their solution, and I don't know that I'm in love with that particularly.
Hey, just because I'm tired doesn't mean you can start talking about politics.
All right.
You know how this works.
My B.
All right, politics, free stream.
Politics, free stream. Hey, you brought up the bikes. Don't blame me.
True.
But yeah.
So we'll see you next week. We're going to call it. I don't have anything else to say.
No, this was good. We actually had some. First game was strange. It tipped late game, but I thought it was a good start. We both had questionable draws, and I didn't notice some things perhaps I should have.
Well, I feel.
And the second game was pretty great. That was
I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but I feel good about that. I feel vindicated. That's what I was going to say.
Vindicated.
I feel vindicated that I was able to play my bad cards well enough that you weren't quite aware that I was playing bad cards.
We both do that. We both play in the fear of our other decks working, and they don't always work. But generally a good night of cards. It's actually been a while since I think we had a satisfying game like that last one. We've had some
I love
mediocre.
that. That's true. I really
one.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, all right, thanks for sticking around, guys. It was a good night of cards. We were happy to have the company, talk games, ashes.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week.
Yep. Enjoy your weekends.
Good night. Get some sleep.
Sleep.